third Hercule Poirot novel to be brought to the screen by producers John Brabourne and Richard Goodwin, and the second, starring Peter Ustinov. Evil Under the Sun is set in the 1930s, but it says more about the 1980s. While period films often reflect the times of their production more than their stories' settings, with its spiteful wit, vulgar equation of character with wealth, and other dubious Thatcherite values, Evil is an even more obvious product of its time than usual. It is Agatha Christie for the nouveaux riche. While roughly preserving the action of Christie's book, give or take a character or subplot, Anthony Shaffer's adaptation uses the story for meretricious showing off. For example, while the novel is set on the English coast, the film unfolds on an exclusive island in the Adriatic, in which the limited characters are conceived less as potential suspects than as hypercharged cliches defined by how expensively they dress as they frolic amidst the sunny surroundings. Schaffer does at least provide more humor than some Christie adaptations, and Ustinov is more than happy to embody Poirot as, quote, the most insufferable man in the world, unquote, as described by another character. If he were the only one playing to the gallery, it might be amusing, but because the characters are defined more by their poses than their personalities, the actors overplay so much that light comedy becomes heavy parody. The laborious results aren't helped by the Cole Porter tunes on the soundtrack. Presumably meant as period reference, they loudly underline every plot and character twist, like musical dialogue balloons screaming, "Get it?" When, for example, the eventual victim Arlena Marshall does an impromptu performance of You're the Top, Diana Rigg's delivery is entertaining, but the scene is just an explicit drag show moment in a film saturated with similarly florid display. The score is just the brassiest and hardest edge thing about the film. There is no mystery to speak of, since everyone treats the murder as more of a game than a crime. Arlena is set up so blatantly as the victim that everyone else seems to be waiting for her demise so they can have their chance to chew the scenery. Their motives for killing are so weak, it is clear they are there only to lie to Poirot so he can impress with his pedantic solution. His explanations are particularly tedious, given the story's baroquely complex implausibility, but he does his generic duty. Afterwards, in a short, rather ugly coda, the filmmakers tip their hand. As the killers are taken to justice on an open boat, the other supposed suspects stand at the rail of the yacht owned by one of them. Toasting the villains with glasses of champagne, they smirk, while the orchestra exultingly encourages us to sneer along with them. It's an admittedly throwaway moment, but it demonstrates how the newly rich mistake money for class and fashion for style.